Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in Columbus, Ohio. In the previous episode, we swept the Ottawa Senators in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you know what? That was the series that we needed. First game a little iffy. It was pretty close heading into the third. Same with game number 2. Third and fourth game were a wash for this team. We were damn good that series. Considering the last 2 rounds, it was pretty bad in general for each end of the ice, defense, offense, and goaltending. That was the series and the confidence booster that we needed heading in to the Stanley Cup Finals. Currently 12-4. Let's talk about it. Let's reminisce. Because this might be one of the last times we get to have this group, this core together, going for this franchise's 6th Stanley Cup. Round 1, OT victory, close one. I believe we came back in that one. Then we win 3 straight, lose 1, and then I'm like, it was an iffy series. It was an iffy series altogether. Goaltending was pretty bad, but Kavanaugh was good in the OTs. Because they would have won that series if they would have picked up both those OT wins. There was no way we could compete with that. But OT-wise, we were pretty good. We win game 5, 8-6. That was a barn burner, but we got the victory. Then we start out the second round really sloppy against the Washington Capitals. 4-2 loss. Might not be the worst of losses on paper, but with the team we were going up against and the team that we had, they were a one-line team and a good goaltender, and he was the difference maker. Nikulin was fantastic for the Capitals. But somehow, someway, we find a way to win Game 7, 3-2. They force a Game 7 with a Game 6 victory, 3-1, and then I'm like, they have all the momentum. They get the first goal, we tie it up, then we score 3 straight, I believe, which was fantastic. That was the way you do that. Columbus and Washington always have the best series, IRL and in this video game. Just fantastic series from these two groups. And then a sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't even have to talk about it because we were that damn good. Kavanaugh, all the boys, Stu Cam, Savoie, Woodworth, were all dynamite in that series. And now we're here in the Stanley Cup Finals for the 5th straight season. Why are we here? Well, let's talk about it. Currently leading this team in points. There is a tie, actually. Savoie and Joshua Waugh. Joshua Waugh, game number, I can't recall, but he had 4 goals. All the 4 goals in one game. 2 straight power play goals to finish the game and win it for the Blue Jackets. He is quietly having one of his best postseason performances. That first line already has almost 75 points in, 20 or 16 games. Holy crap. Oh my god, 28, 29, any 31 looks to be his cap, and he's almost there. In so many less games. Currently played 16 games. We have 4 more wins to go. And that's all I care about. Matthew Savoie, fantastic. The MVP line is dynamite. And I want to give you a fact. Now, somebody commented on my video. If I'm smart enough, I will take a screenshot of it and then I'll put it on video. But if I'm not, I apologize. So, comment says right here from Bar Down Skis Snipe. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. He said, with that incredible season, Jeffrey freaking Woodworth is second all-time in points. He is currently 41 points away from 2,000 if he has one more season. Please don't retire in brackets, which I completely agree with. Wayne Gretzky has 2,857 points, which shows you how dominant he really was. But for old time's sakes, Jeffrey Woodworth over Wayne Gretzky. And I completely agree with that statement. I don't want him to retire. But there is a huge possibility that he does. 41. I'm not sure if there's another player in this franchise mode to retire with over 2,000 points. I believe Matthews might have. But, my God, he's one of the best all time. If you think about all the players to have ever played up to this point in this simulation, Wayne Gretzky, Lemieux, Ovechkin, Jeffrey Woodworth, Connor McDavid, Shane Wright, they're all there, and Jeffrey Woodworth is obviously at the top. He missed 5 games too, so he would be that much closer to 2,000 if he didn't miss those games. Fallon with 18, Alexander Newhook with 13. Newhook is putting up numbers, which is good. We did trade away a lot for him. I believe we traded Max Gerber to the San Jose Sharks for him in a second, I believe. But it's obviously working out better for us. San Jose did have a pretty damn good regular season. I believe Max Gerber was second in the league in goaltending wins. Good for them, but are they here in the Stanley Cup Finals? No, which means we won the deal so far. But we're not there yet. MP3, 8 goals, good for 12 points, which isn't bad. 2 game-winning goals. He's been pretty quiet the last round, but we did sweep, so I can't be too upset with that, right? Carol Hansel with 12, and this frickin' guy, this third liner who we drafted 5-6 seasons ago, just out of nowhere, his offensive stats look to be incredible, especially his shooting category. 2 game-winning goals. He has been important for this team. A third liner, that's why it's so important for your bottom 6 to have as much care put into it as the top 6. Bobby Friesen, half a point per game, obviously not having the best of postseasons, but we're winning games, and that is all that matters. I know when we need him most, he should show up. And it looks like all around that we did start the postseason pretty meh defensively wise, but now we're 3 rounds into the postseason, and everybody looks to have turned things around. Why am I pressing random buttons? Please stop that. But he's been good. Jaden Swanson, 7 points on that 4th line, which is a huge bright spot. Jacques Giroux with 7 points. I believe he didn't get any points that last round, if I'm not mistaken, but he is a good defensive player. For being a sniper, I would have never put 2 and 2 together. Not the best offensive stats from him anymore, but he's helping out defensively, which is huge heading in to the Stanley Cup Finals. Zach Baton, 5 points. Isn't the best, but for a 4th liner, being at a 0 plus minus, I can't be too upset with that. Samuel Makinen putting up 1 point that round. He's gone. I've already made up my mind. Even if we do win the cup, either way, he's gone. He has to be. I mean, especially with that cap. There's so many other guys in the AHL ready for that time who are definitely worth it. Samuel Makinen was the guy a very long time ago where we signed him to that ridiculous extension, really good extension when he was at an 83 overall. But when we got a guy like Bobby Friesen to take over that second line role, Samuel Makinen was by the wayside, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Defense, how's it looking so far? Stu Cam, 16 points in 16 games. You know what? If the offense or Jeffrey Woodworth, Savoie, Waugh, all those guys weren't doing as well, Stu Cam would be the Conn Smythe runner. He's a runner-up right now. If you have a defenseman with 16 points in 16 games in the Stanley Cup playoffs, like, he has to be good. He has to be one of your best players on the ice. And he is. He is one of, if not, he's a cornerstone defenseman. I'm not going to say he's better than our forwards because you can't really compare the two, but throughout his entire career, he is one of the best defensemen all time. Almost at 1,000 career points as a defenseman. He's a perennial 60-point player in the regular season. First few years of his career, obviously not, but once he hit his peak, he's never been better. Mikko Jarvin with 7 plus 10. Our defense has been a little shaky. Pierre Jakobsen, I'm going to talk about. Don't even get me started right now. Abel Carlos. Not bad. 7 points, 16 games. Not as good as the previous postseason. Whoa, 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 whoa. Really? He dropped down to a top 4D? That kind of upsets me. Really? 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 I guess so. But he's a +5. He's helping us out. We have him signed up to a really good contract. Mikko Jarvinen did drop down to an 84 overall. And this is at this point where why this game confuses me so much. If he dropped down to an 84 and Carlos is just getting better, why did the potentials drop for Carlos but not Jarvinen? Explain that to me, EA. Come on, I don't ask for much, really. But our top defensemen have been really good. Walker Farmer in the previous round beating his former team, his lifelong team, comes over to Columbus, beats the Ottawa Senators to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals for what I think is the first time in his career. If I'm wrong, you can tell me differently. Christian Johansson, who was the scratch player, not great. Henry Schwartz, who is a +8 with 1 assist. Not the best offensive stats, but coming in as a rookie, I believe. Putting up good numbers like that is huge for us. Per Jakobsen, 79 overall, 22 years of age. You know what? You look at trading for a defenseman from another team, hypothetically. That's kind of a guy you want to take, right? But anytime we've looked at a guy or had a guy like that at that kind of age, he's grown nada. Not a single. Like, he's not grown 1 overall. We've given him so much opportunity to grow, and he's done nothing with it. It might say ice time, meh. But years previous, we've given him so much time to produce, to be a good NHL player, but he has produced none, and he's putting up terrible numbers in the postseason so far. Really disappointed by that. Goaltending. Vyacheslav Kavanov, after a rough 2 rounds, round number 1 was pretty bad. Round number 2 didn't get much better for him, even though it was a bit better. Round 3, he really came out, he dominated. There were a few weird scores there where it was really close, but he kept us in for the sweep. 900, below 3 goals against, which he's really starting to turn it around. But this is the time where you need to be that Vezina goalie. This is the time. This is the moment. We were playing the LA Kings, and how did they get here? Round number 1, they beat their longtime rivals in the San Jose Sharks. Round number 2, they beat the Vancouver Canucks, and then they sweep the Dallas Stars. So, I mean, it would have been cool to face Dallas because did we face them last year to win the Cup? No, who did we beat last year? Yeah, we beat Edmonton. No, not Edmonton. Jesus. We beat Dallas last year. It would have been nice to repeat against them. But LA, 41, 32, and 9, finished the season 3-6 and 1. Reminds me of the 2012 season where they came in as the 8th seed and then beat the Vancouver Canucks and then ended up winning the Stanley Cup. So how are they here? How are they as a team? I don't know why I went to the bottom of the list, but I did anyways. How are they in... Okay, I get it. I get why they're here. Let's talk about it. Their first-line center, Earl Cousins, 26 years of age, high elite, first overall pick 8 years ago. Yeah, he's a franchise centerman. How is his regular season stats looking? He's never been a 100-point player, but I get why he is their number 1 center because he is a 91 overall. Then they got Corey Maz, 92 overall, medium elite, 25 years of age, 5th overall pick, 7 seasons ago. So they've been pretty good at drafting. And then their franchise player, 1st overall pick, I want to say 13 seasons ago. 13. I'm correct. 12 seasons ago, 96 overall. This is their franchise player, 88 points, 90. He's all over the place, but he is so good. I remember when he was drafted, he was one of the last franchise players created by the computers put into the draft. So he is a machine. I get why they're here. Second line, they got Nathaniel Kron, and this is a guy that I've debated trading for in the past because his value has always been pretty low. His contract has always been pretty okay. Sean Scoville, which is a... What a name. That is such a dope last name. Sean Scoville. Wow. Bringing up the heat, if you know what I mean. Then you got Miles Ranger, 24 years of age. Looks like they draft most of their players, which is, you rarely see that by the computer. And you got Rob Flattery. Did they draft him as... Yeah, they did. Okay, they're a relatively younger team. Sort of. They're in between. But they got a nice balance of youth and veterans. Third line, you got Obergauer, 86 overall. Ooh, that is a damn good player to have. Similar to when we had Ola Jorgensen last year. Very similar numbers, too. Okay, I see what you're doing, LA. Sergei Chubarov, 27 years of age. They drafted him as well. Yeah, pretty good player. They're 17 points in 15 games. I get it. Fourth line, Alexander Ouellette, Yves Danis, and then you got Clint Reed. Former Columbus Blue Jacket, drafted by the Dallas Stars. We can bring this one all the way back to the Johnny Gaudreau trade, I believe. We traded for Johnny Gaudreau. No, we acquired Johnny Gaudreau in free agency, traded him to Dallas for Jamie Benn, a prospect in Clint Reed, and another pick, which turned out to be Robinson Soy, if I'm not mistaken. You can go back and check. It's a long time ago. It's like 50 episodes ago, but I don't have the time for that. We're here in the Cup Finals. But what does their defense look like? You know, out of all the defense that we've seen so far in the postseason, they have one of the better, more even defense. They got Justice Simmons, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous name. Are you kidding me? Justice Simmons. Like, why can't I have a player with the first name Justice? He's a Swiss man. Swiss Superman. 4th round pick. Are you kidding me? That is... Yeah, I get it. Was he drafted by LA? No, drafted by Detroit. Cool. Ludwig Muller, drafted by New Jersey. Okay, so their defense looks to be more of a LA, or more of a not LA prospect pool. Okay, then you got Kimo Salomon. Their top 3 defensemen there are very solid. Then you got Eugene Newberry, Perez, and Pronger. Pronger is definitely the weakest one there. I'm assuming they have an injury or two, but defensemen are really expensive. So how much does Simmons cost? 13, 7, and then 8. Yeah, that's a lot of money to put into your top 3 defense. But it always comes down to goaltending. Caden Marshall, former New York Islanders goalie that gave us so much trouble in the past. He's a pretty damn good goalie. Not the best regular season stats this year, but as you can see in years past, he is a damn good goalie. Last year had 45 wins, 9-10, right? He's a goalie that I am scared of. We've beat him before. We've lost to him before. He stoned us before. I'm scared of that. Scratch players, they got Markov, Salio, and then Peros. I can't speak. You know, I get it. I get why they're here in the Stanley Cup Finals. Their first line is dangerous. And I see bad things coming where that's a first line that compares to ours. Might be better at this point in their careers than our older guys. Maybe not the same amount of points, but overall-wise, they can take us down. They have pretty good depth. Very good depth. Defense isn't even that bad. Goaltending, it always comes down to that, doesn't it? The LA Kings versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have home ice, obviously. Do we go back-to-back? This is our 5th straight Stanley Cup Finals. Do we end the careers of Jeffrey Woodworth, Joshua Waugh, Savoie, Stu Cam on the right note? Do they even retire? But I want a Stanley Cup nonetheless. I want ring number 6. Here we go. Game number 1. It all starts with 1 step. First period. 3-0. Now that is how you get on the board. Stu Cam scoring a short-handed goal. How many times are you going to see a short-handed goal scored in the Stanley Cup Finals? Okay, let me one-up you. How many times are you going to see a shorthanded goal scored in the Stanley Cup Finals by a defenseman? You don't see that. Because defensemen are usually the ones protecting the net during a power play for the other team. So for them to make the rush and score the shorthanded goal is kind of impressive. Bobby Friesen makes it 2-0, and that's exactly what I said. He's not had the best of postseasons, but when we need him, he's going to show up. Carol Hansel has been really, really good. He's scoring goals in these last 3 rounds that have been very important. Second period. It's not over. What did I just say right there? Mass scores on the power play. Scoville makes it a 1-goal game. Just like that, Columbus. You got to be disappointed with yourself. They storm back there. We still have the advantage, not in shots. Shots are 25-21 in their favor. Game 1. Third period. Come on, Columbus. Come on. Power play or something. Get it done, Columbus. Come on. Power play. You can't capitalize that. It's going to come back to bite us. Yep, I can already tell. Halfway through the third. Come on, Columbus. Settle it down. You're good at what you do. Please. 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 I almost said shorthanded goal. Empty netter for Mikko Jarvinen. 50 seconds gets us the game number 1 victory. That was a close one. Kavanaugh, you let in 2 goals there in the second period, but you kept us in it through 60. I'll give you that one. Mikko Jarvinen with a pretty damn good game. You rarely see your defensemen put up points. Rarely in the Stanley Cup Finals, but they are coming in big here, and they're very deceiving for a 41-win team. They look like they should be a 50-win team with the way they played us there in game number 1. They kind of just sneaked into the playoffs. 3-6-1. Right? Anything could have happened. It was really up to the other teams that lost games. They kind of just squeaked in. They might be the worst team out of the Western Conference, facing the President's Trophy team. They might... I should figure that out right now. Are they the worst team? Were they the worst team out of the Western Conference? Were they? No, they weren't. They were the second worst. 91 points, Minnesota. They got eliminated a while ago. Okay. Game number 2. Second worst team out of the West against the President's Trophy team. They almost silenced us during that game. They almost came back. But here we go. Game number 2. 1-0. I'll take it. Matthew Savoie on the power play. 5:40 remaining in the first. Shots are 16-7 in our favor. They did score 2 very quickly in the second period. So let's settle it down or just heat it up. We need more than 1 goal. Second period. Another 2-goal period for the LA Kings. Johan Kruger, or Johan, whatever his first name is. Maas scores to make it 2-1. We double them up in shots, 32-16. Their goalie is on fire, Columbus. Come on. Come on. We don't have the advantage going to the third like last game. Come on. We need a little bit of magic. Third period. Come on. Come on, Columbus. Come on, Columbus. Power play early for LA. Damn it. Come on, Columbus. Do not do this to yourselves. Woodworth scores 4-2. Come on, Columbus. Please do something here. You can't go out with a whimper like that. Jesus, I get it. They win 1 game, but going down like that. Farmer with 4:40 left. Come on. Come on, Columbus. I'm hoping for some magic here. Come on, Columbus. Do something here. And we drop this one 4-3. Kavanaugh, that was a god-awful game from yourself. They even things up heading back to LA. Yikes. Yikes. If you would have just not had a terrible second period again, this series might be looking a little bit different. Game number 3, LA. They've won cups here before. Let's go. First period. 1-0. Another 1-goal first period. We've seen a lot of that. We don't start out very hot, but at least we're not losing until the second period, because this is how this works. Shots are in our favor, 14-6. Second period. What did I say? Another 2-goal period from the LA Kings in the second. Fallon makes it 2-0. They score 2 straight. Chubarov and then Ranger New hook with 26 seconds remaining in the second. Kavanagh, do you just like close your eyes during the second period? Like those freaking 20 minutes you're like, I'm not going to play goalie. I'm just going to go drink and play Xbox. Like, like, dude, we outshoot them by 10, 28-18. Please hold on. For the love of God. Please. Power play early. Nope. Oh, God. Wow, we killed that one off. Who the hell is taking... Who in the right... Scoville scores. It's a tie game. Good job, Kavanagh. Hold it down, Columbus. You should be scoring goals on this team. I know it's one of the better teams you've seen, but man, oh man, score a goal. Bobby Friesen, what did I say? What did I say? There we go, boys. There we go. What did I say, Bobby Friesen? When you need him the most, he'll score a goal or two. That is huge. That is the clutch win you need. Allowing a few straight there. They tie the game, but we end it pretty late. Bobby Friesen, you absolute hero. Mr. Freeze, nice to meet you. I know it's pretty hot in LA, but when Mr. Freeze comes to town, there's not much you can do about it. Game number 2 in LA. Game number 4, we have a chance to take a stranglehold. Come on. Come on, a chance to end the series in Columbus. With a win here away from home ice. Get it done. Do it for the fans. First period. 1-1. That's a little bit different. Moss scores halfway through the period. Fallon, shorthanded goal, second shorthanded goal of the Stanley Cup Finals. How many times has a shorthanded goal been scored in the Stanley Cup Finals? What is the record? Somebody Google it, because I really don't have the time right now, because I'm not trying to stress out, but it is stressing me out, because the Stanley Cup Finals always does that to me. Shots are in our favor, 12-9. It's even. It's an even game. Second period. 2-1. You blanked them there. I was so scared because I saw a power play early for LA, but Swanson scores 1 minute and 23 seconds left in the second. Another late period goal for Columbus. Shots are in our favor, 28-18. We double them in the score, and we not double them in the shot department, but is a pretty high shooting game for this team, but it is only 2-1. Third period, come on. Columbus, please. Columbus, come on. You want to realize a dream? Do you want to win your 6th franchises Stanley Cup? Come on, halfway through the third, power play for LA. Oh my God, we kill that one off. Are you kidding me? Columbus, come on. Come on, just shut it down right now. And Flattery scores. Oh my God, Matthew Savoie. Oh my God. 14 seconds left. They tie the game with 43 seconds left, and I'm like, I'm ready to go to OT. I am ready. My body is not ready. My mental state is not ready. But Savoie's like, don't worry, Owen. I got you. I got you. It's okay. 14 seconds remaining. Do you imagine how quiet that building must have got? Taking the air out of the building 30 seconds later. We win game number 4, and we have a chance to win the Stanley Cup on home ice. Kavanagh, you let in a late goal there. Again, not the best, but we got the W nonetheless. Okay. We have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Back to back. Our franchise's 6th Stanley Cup. I believe in this team. We are currently in our 5th straight Stanley Cup final. We are the kings of the East. That is just a fact at this point. We are better than Detroit in the 90s and the early 2000s. We rival the Montreal Canadiens in the 80s, the 70s. Probably shouldn't say that because they were really good. But guys like Savoie, Woodworth, Waugh, Stu Cam have been in this exact same position before. They want to go out on top. And if they're going to retire, I hope they retire the right way and party, drink a little bit of vodka, a bit of peach bellinis. We did, maybe we'll go back to LA and party in front of them just to celebrate. But this series is not over until it's over. Game number 5. Here we go. Game number 5. End it, boys. End it. First period. 1-0. Early goal by Ubergar. Shots are in our favor, 8-5. Okay. This is a pretty close one. Not the best period from Kavanaugh, or the defense, or the offense. But I'm used to that at this point, because our offense has been pretty weak in the first period this entire postseason. Second period. It's evened up. We score 2 straight. Woodworth scores 2 straight, taking this team on his back, 2 on the power play. Then Ranger ties it late. So we win the game late last game and the game before that. And he's like, okay, late period goals, we got to stop this. He scores one of his own. Okay, it's evened up heading into the third period with a chance to win the Stanley Cup. No pep talk, boys. No pep talk. No pep talk. Come on. Power play for LA. They score another power play. Come on, Columbus. Come on. 3-2. We have time. We have time, Columbus. We have time to even this thing up. Come on. I need a little bit of magic, Columbus. You know how to do this. Come on. Come on, Columbus. Please, Columbus. Come on. You know how to do it. Come on. We drop game number 5, a score of 3-2. And we head back to LA. I shouldn't have said anything. Now it's a best of 2. We have a chance to even this series up on home ice and force a game 7. We were in a pretty good position to win this series on home ice, but the offense was nowhere to be seen. Jeffrey Woodworth did everything in his power. LA. Come on. Come on, LA. Or come on, Columbus. First period. 2-1. Prohorkin scores early on the power play. Muller and Flattery score 2 straight. The hell are you doing, Columbus? Kavanaugh, dude, 4 shots? You let in 2 goals on 4 shots? I hope they're pulling you. The coach needs to do that. You cannot let in 2 goals on 4 shots. We're paying you millions of dollars to not do that. Please. 4 shots? My God. We're out shooting them, by the way. It's 2-1 LA. Second period. Okay, we tie the game. And then Kruger's like, nah, sorry. Their franchise player makes it 3-2 in the third. Or heading into the third. We still outshoot them 20-17. Kavanaugh, you've had a bad game. Not gonna lie here. Third period, come on. Come on, Columbus. Somebody, do not go out like that. Giroux ties the game. Schwartz makes it 4-3. The rookie defenseman in Game 6 here on LA's home ice power play. Oh my Jesus, Lord Christ! Come on, Columbus. Come on, Columbus, please. And it's a tie game. Tie game. Heading into OT. We have a chance to win the Stanley Cup in OT. You know how many times this has happened? That we've been in OT and lost the Stanley Cup? We have the chance to end it. Celebrate. The biggest opportunity. One man is all it takes. End it. End it. It's been a series of comebacks. Savoie, around the net, back to the point. Schwartz in front! Wow! That's it! In overtime, the Stanley Cup is coming back to Columbus for the 2nd straight year. That's the way you end it. The rookie defenseman passes it in front. Joshua Waugh knows exactly how to end a series in style. The Columbus Blue Jackets win the Stanley Cup back-to-back for the 2nd time in their franchise's history. LA tried. They tried. Plenty of late goals for this team, trying to force a Game 7, head back to Columbus, but there was no need. Columbus knew exactly what they needed to do. A shaky postseason from Kavanaugh, but There was no need for any shots on him in OT. He didn't have to face one single shot in OT. And we finish it in game number 6. Now, this one is sweet. This one is so bittersweet because this might be the last time we ever see Jeffrey Woodworth handle the Stanley Cup. And Savoie definitely earned the Conn Smythe. 20, I can't remember how many points. I wasn't even looking. What a postseason from all the guys. Joshua Waugh, clutch. Jeffrey Woodworth, even bigger. Savoie winning the Conn Smythe. But you know there was only one trophy they wanted. And that was the Stanley Cup. They get to be the champions yet again. Jeffrey Woodworth, the captain for his 5th Stanley Cup. Captain for his 5th Stanley Cup. His 6th ever. That was hard to say. I'm getting old teary-eyed over here. The captain doesn't look a day over 18. Jeffrey Woodworth, number 48, one of the greatest players in NHL history. 6 Stanley Cups to the name. One of the greatest. Who's he going to hand it off to? He's going to hand it off to Stu Cam. Now, I'm getting all emotional over here because Stu Cam might be gone as well. Number 45, the franchise defenseman, the pinnacle of a defenseman. He hands it off to Mikko Jarvinen, longtime Columbus Blue Jacket. I don't know what Stanley Cup that is for him. Number 5, number 4, I'm not quite sure at this point, but he earned it. Long season for every guy on this team. We deserved it. This team deserved it. But the man in the goalie pads, that is a guy who's had an interesting career. Really fantastic regular season, iffy postseason, but he does exactly what he needs to do. His offense helped him out, and he goes out there, wins his, I want to say, 5th Stanley Cup. Boys, this might be the last time you're ever together, but you enjoy it. Number 6, boys, back to back.